There's a lot of shows releasing every week, so in this video I've decided to narrow that number down to just 7, which should make picking what you watch next somewhat easier. My name is Rewatch and these are my top picks of the fall 2020 anime season. For this video I've picked 7 different shows, not including sequels, 4 of which are honorable mentions and are in no particular order, while the final 3 are my top picks for the season. I'll have all 7 listed in the description with the timestamps so you'll have an easier time identifying the shows that I'm talking about. So getting right into it. First up for the honorable mentions is Noblesse. I know the show had a lot of hype surrounding it, but unfortunately it didn't make it into my top 3. With that being said, if it looks like something you might be interested in, I definitely suggest you give it a watch. I'd also recommend that you actually watch the Awakening ONA beforehand, as anime picks up where that leaves off. Despite the hype surrounding the show, I just felt like it didn't really do anything that amazed me, but again, like I said, I'd still suggest you give it a watch and form your own opinion. Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World, seems like it could be worth giving a shot, even though I haven't actually got around to checking it out yet. It is an ecchi though, if you're not into that, or I guess if you are into that. And surprisingly, it doesn't seem to have the harem tag attached to it, which is a good thing, at least for me. It seems like it would be a very Romeo and Juliet-esque story, so if that sounds like something for you, then give it a look. The Day I Became a God is another work from Jun Maeda for you Angel Beats and Charlotte fans. If you like those two and are a fan of his work, then you'll probably already be checking this one out, so I'm not going to spend much time talking about it. Although this is actually the first work of his that I've seen personally, because I still haven't got around to watching anything else that he's worked on. But I'm definitely interested in checking them out eventually. We've now arrived at the final honorable mention, which is going to be Akudama Drive. The show has definitely piqued my interest, but I unfortunately have yet to actually see if it deserves that or not, since I haven't had the time to watch it yet, but I do definitely plan on watching it somewhat soon. There's definitely a lot of other shows that could have piqued my interest but that I overlooked simply because of limiting myself to talking about only 7. So, if a show that you thought deserved to be in this video wasn't mentioned, don't worry about it, because closer to the end of the season I am going to make another video where I go over the shows that I or others may have missed. Also, before we get into my top picks of the season, I just want to say that I really appreciate anyone who's watched this far into the video. So if you could do me a favor and like this video, it really does help the channel, and comment down below about any anime that you think deserve to be included in this video, because I'll probably check them out and talk about them in that future video that I mentioned. Also, consider subscribing to the channel for future anime related content. With all of that out the way, we can finally get into my top picks of the fall 2020 anime season. Starting at number 3, we have Majo no Tabi Tabi, or Wandering Witch: The Journey of Helena. Now honestly, I enjoyed this show a lot more than I thought I would. If you liked Violet Evergarden, you'd probably like this, and even if you didn't like Violet Evergarden that much, you might still like this because they are quite different. It seems like it'll be very wholesome and a fun watch, and that's a great thing. So if that's something that you're also looking for, I'd highly recommend you check this one out, because I know I definitely will be. Now in second place we have Tonikaku Kawaii, or Tonikawa. I was honestly pretty excited for this, and so far I'm pretty much getting what I hoped for. The show's tags are comedy, and yeah, that makes sense, romance, of course, slice of life, yeah, and then there's sci-fi for some reason, and that kinda intrigues me. It could be something really simple, or it might not be at all, I don't really know. I just know that I didn't really expect it to be in the genre of sci-fi. That being said, if you're looking for a cute and wholesome romance anime that skips the build-up completely and just has the main characters get married in the first episode, then the show might be for you. I mean, our protagonist makes more progress in 12 minutes than most romance protagonists in 12 episodes. And there's even some uncensored hand-holding if you're into that, which, to be honest, I think we all are. Now, finally, in the number 1 spot, and I don't think anyone even saw this coming, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I know everyone's already talking about the show and it's been incredibly hyped up, so it's really no surprise to see it, yeah? But when that happens, I'm usually extremely skeptical, which I really was going into this. But whether it's because I haven't allowed myself to get that hyped up about shows, or whether this show really does live up to that amount of hype, I don't really know. But these first episodes were pretty great, to be honest. And I really think and hope that the show might just manage to live up to the amount of hype that it's garnered so far. And if it can do that, then it'll probably be one of the best this year. If not the best this year. That's not counting sequels, of course. So far, the characters are all great, and honestly, that's what I personally look for in my shows. But other than that, I think the music definitely does what it needs to, and the animation is also great, so good job Mappa. The OP and ED are both amazing, and I personally think this may just be the best ED of the year. I don't know about the OP yet, it might be the best of the year too, but I'm not really sure. I'd have to think about that one a bit more. And although I didn't really speak about it, the plot is definitely somewhat unique and interesting, at least in my opinion. So all in all, if Jujutsu Kaisen can keep its quality on par with the first 2 episodes, I think this will be a great show, and I'm also really glad that we'll be getting 24 episodes of it instead of only 12 or 13. That being said though, we've arrived at the end of this video. I know I've decided to keep it quite short, but I've got to go catch up on some more anime, and if you've enjoyed this video or found it helpful, leave a like or dislike if you didn't, and consider subscribing for future anime related content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.